For BamaCentral.com, my name is Clay Miller, and this is the Extra Point. Today, I'm joined by Katie Wyndham to discuss some Alabama softball, and they've had some success of late. Katie, the pitching staff's been good, but what I really want to talk about today is just how well the freshmen have performed as of late, especially Megan Bloodworth and some of the other, and even the transfers that have come in. So what have you seen from those players, and what does that mean for Alabama going forward?
Yeah, the freshmen and the transfers, so the newcomers in general, have been huge for the team this year. The two transfers in Ashley Prange and Shipman are leading the team in batting average. They're both the top two. Shipman's leading the team in RBIs. She's up there in home runs as well, I believe, tied with Bailey Dowling. And then you talked about the freshman Megan Bloodworth. She's second on the team in home runs, and she's provided that power. And then we kind of saw on Tuesday, which I wrote about in the doubleheader, they're facing lesser opponents in North Alabama and Alcorn State. So it really gave Patrick Murphy a chance to play some of these freshmen. And they didn't necessarily deliver with the bats on Tuesday. He was a little disappointed in the offensive output. But in game one, we did see another home run from Megan Bloodworth. We saw freshman Callie Hevlin have her first career home run, and she's someone who had a lot of power out of high school. And we saw Aubrey Barnhart get a couple of hits. She struggled with injuries this year that kind of set her back. Patrick Murphy said she's one of the best hitters on the team. And so I think she's someone we'll see a lot out of moving forward. And then, Callie Hevlin, not only did she have the home run, she played shortstop a lot, and she really showed some ability and was impressive up the middle, and could be kind of someone that could take over that role moving forward. But I think it was important what Murphy said after the game about, I have to play these players now, because when we get to the postseason, if they haven't played before, they're not going to know what to do. And so he was able to kind of test that depth this week. And, there are some freshmen in the starting lineup like Megan Bloodworth, like Dallas Goodnight, and then obviously Prange and Shipman are, but he also has to build that depth behind them. We've also seen the freshman Jenna Lord and the DP some lately. And so this week was a good opportunity to do that. And we could see more of them at Texas A&M this weekend.
Overall, what's your sense of the team right now and where they're at? Obviously, they've won several games in a row and are up to 38-6 on the year, ranked, I think the number 2 team in the country. But as we're getting closer to postseason time, what's your ceiling, you think, for this team?
I mean, the ceiling of this team is winning the national championship. It's going to be tough going up against, Oklahoma, who's going to be heavily favored by everyone. But, Oklahoma did suffer their first loss this weekend, so it showed they're not unbeatable. They're not invincible. And Alabama has the talent to kind of match them. And so I think that's the ceiling for this team. I think they're pretty locked in now. They lost that last game of the series at Florida. Last year, we saw them lose 2 or 3 against Florida and then go on a 20-game win streak. And so, since they lost that game to Florida, they haven't lost. They have a bunch of winnable games coming up. I don't think it's going to be as easy as people think to sweep at A&M this weekend. I think it's likely, but A&M just got swept by Tennessee last weekend. But I think they had the lead in all 3 games, or at least they were all close at some point. So they have a talented team. But yeah, I mean, the ceiling for this team is really high. They're still in the race for the SEC regular season title. It's kind of, a lot of it's going to depend on what happens this weekend in Gainesville between Arkansas and Florida. But Alabama's got to handle business themselves against A&M and against Missouri next weekend to kind of carry that momentum into the postseason and a potential Women's College World Series run.
Certainly, that's what the team wants and expects, especially after how last season ended. So they want to get back. Thank you so much for joining me today, Katie. I appreciate your time. Once again, for BamaCentral.com, my name is Clay Miller, and this has been The Extra Point.